Welcome to the Conscious Radio Network, where curiosity meets conversation. Get enlightened and have fun. Share the experience with friends, family, and anyone ready for thought-provoking dialogue. You can watch our shows on YouTube, follow us on Facebook, or connect with us on X, Instagram, and TikTok. Our podcasts are also available on Libsyn, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other major platforms. Be sure to visit our official website at consciousradionetwork.com for past episodes, upcoming shows, and guest scheduling. And to our listeners around the cosmos, welcome. We're glad you're here. Subscribe, follow, and join the community.
This is the Conscious Radio Network.
Good day, everybody, wherever you might be on this spaceship we call Earth. Welcome to Conscious Radio Network's The Séance podcast. I'm your host, Reverend Dr. Paul Meckes. If this is your first time tuning in, please click like, subscribe, comment, and also don't forget to follow us wherever you listen to your podcasts. All right. Today's conversation cuts beneath the surface into how truth is shaped, redirected, and, at times, deliberately concealed. My guest today, MD Selig, a former Marine combat pilot and intelligence officer who transitioned from the battlefield to filmmaking and authorship. Together, we explore the architecture of information manipulation, the narratives operating in the shadows, and how we recognize the moment we're being steered before the deception ever sees you coming. Let's welcome to the seance for the first time, MD Selig. Welcome, MD.
Thanks,
How
Paul.
you doing?
It's good. It's my honor to be here.
Honor to have you here. When I saw the incoming email and the topic, I'm like, oh, yes. We don't talk about it often on this show, but we do hint that it comes around every now and then.
Sure.
So I really want to just like I started off, cut right into the surface of this. Who is pulling the information strings and keeping us all in the dark, so to speak?
So, great question, and I certainly cover it in the novel, and you can take a look at that. I go in depth with this crew, but basically, my research and experience with this group is they consider themselves an administrative elite, and they are above all governments. Think blue blood money, Rothschilds, Rockefellers, and also their handmaidens are the CIA, the American CIA and the U.S. intelligence network. And those groups are controlled by this small group that I call Cabal in my novel Hush. And certainly, like I said, there's a lot more details, but that group, in my understanding, has literally manipulated and controlled world events for about the past 70 years and continues to this day, so that regular humanity doesn't get to go ranging out into space that we've been now doing for decades. Regular humanity is not aware that we have a full set of ships that come and go to Diego Garcia and other spaceports that are in deep underground military bases throughout the world and underneath the oceans, like the Diego Garcia one. So that is only for the exclusive few who have continuously controlled us and manipulated us. So that's been my research.
Yeah, I do have a couple colleagues that I work with. Some of them I don't talk to often, only because they are ending. Every now and then I'll get a chirp. Hey, how you doing? Great. All right, got to go. Bye. And that have been in the secret space program, MK Ultra. And yeah, it's hearing directly from them, some of the stuff that they've been subjected to it's stuff that you only see in movies or read about in science fiction novels, but people don't realize how true it is. And I figure, and see if you agree with me, is it seems like Hollywood is a way for them to be able to expose information quietly under the covers, desensitization and predictive programming.
You definitely have some of that there is a kind of a soft disclosure with shows like Star Trek and Star Wars and Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
I have followed
the secret space
Jordan.
program.
I had, let's see. Are you familiar with Jordan Maxwell?
The name rings a bell. I know Tony Rodriguez, Rebecca Rose, Jean-Charles Moyen, all of the regular characters, Randy Kramer, who have all been in the secret space programs.
Yeah.
And they're all talking about, this stuff's been out there for decades. They've been in space for decades.
Yeah, many years. When I first heard about it, they were referring to a guy by the name of Captain K. It wasn't his real name, Captain K.
That's Randy Kramer.
Oh, okay.
He's on Gaia TV. Yeah, they just call him Captain K back then, but that's Randy Kramer.
Oh, okay. All right. But it just seems that, Hollywood is just, ever since the inception of Hollywood, the very inception of Hollywood, it was a way for the elites a way for them to control the amount of information that goes out there, subliminally or otherwise.
Yeah, it's a very interesting way that they kind of give you a little bit, but then they play both sides, and so that you're always in confusion about whether it's real or not.
Yeah.
And that's how mind control works. They're able to, on one level, say, aliens are real, and the next moment they say there's no such thing as aliens, and then everybody's always, if you talk about aliens, you're just crazy. And so then it's, if you mention the secret space program or anything else, you're just totally crazy. And yet our secret space force is ginormous, and it's not just in our galaxy anymore, it's intergalactic. And I think this year is going to be a very big disclosure. My sources are saying this is the year, and I feel the compression coming as well, that things are rapidly changing, and I believe we're going to have a contact event this year.
Now, that was my next question, is all this UAP disclosure about truth, or is it just a distraction?
So I think prior to this time, all of the stuff is just more spin. But what I'm talking about as far as a contact event, I'm talking about several ships over all major cities that will uncloak in orbit above the cities, or in a hover position above the cities, and then they'll recloak. And when that occurs, what's going to happen is what you would expect to happen, which is a bunch of humans like us, shows, news, everything else will suddenly go, okay, we all saw that. And it's not just over one city, it'll be over all cities at once.
Yeah.
And then once we talk about it for a couple days and everybody realizes, okay, we're no longer listening to our own governments because this is above our own governments, those ships will reappear, and this time they may land, and you may have options to go with them, with the individuals that basically come out from those crafts. And you're going to have to use your heart to discern whether you want to go with them or not. I'm just saying they may not be in your best interest. They may look the part, and they may put off a vibe, which those technologies that advanced civilizations and malevolent advanced civilizations have can make you feel heavenly in that moment. I'm just saying, if you use your heart, you'll be fine. But I believe we're going to see a contact event. I know from my sources, from all the benevolent races that are here watching what Earth is going through right now and the unfolding of this, I believe we're being welcomed into the galactic community. And the malevolent groups that have been working with all of our governments and this cabal up to this moment in time don't want it to occur, but it's occurring regardless of what they want. And so I believe we're going to see it this year. It's a pretty exciting time.
Yeah, very exciting. And for the fact that I've kept asking several guests that were either on the show or off the show what the directive was that our governments worldwide have been giving a directive for many years, and they've been holding on to it and holding on to it and holding on to it, that there was a timeline. But now it's getting to the point where it's like you don't pay your mortgage. What happens? The bank forecloses on it. Foreclosure is about to happen, where they have no choice but to go, okay, Here you go.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. And what's happening is there's just been so much more information coming out with the internet about all of the different people seeing not only ships, but all the much more information about the secret space program. But what's interesting as well is you have to remember the Cabal has empty seats in space. As we're getting bigger, they can no longer just steal people like you and me, use us for a 20 and back program and try to put us back into society like nothing happened. They need to fill more seats. So what they basically need is a draft. They need to be just to be able to come out on CNN News and say, we're now drafting for the Secret Space Force. Like, they need humans in seats in space. That's how big it's getting out there.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting thing that they're being forced as well to go, we may not want to uncover this because we're going to have to then admit that, yeah, we've been reverse engineering all these ships and we've been in space and blah, blah, blah. And we don't want to tell regular humanity that, because then we lose control on 0 point energy and all of the regular humans driving fossil fuel cars and basically paying for our secret space program when they don't have access to it.
Yeah.
So they don't want to, disclosure is not in their agenda from the standpoint of them holding control.
Mm-hmm.
Same with if you even thinking about any given government, as soon as we have ships over cities, right, no one's going to want to listen to their local government anymore. They're going to be like, why would we listen to you? We have advanced technologies that are coming down and landing. Everything is changed in this moment. I think it will come in little stages, but I do believe you're going to have a major contact event this year. I do believe this year we are going to be welcomed into the galactic community because of the frequency change, literally, of Gaia, or Sophia, as I call her. As Mother Earth rises in her frequency, which is what's occurring, we rise with her. It's like the mother bear takes the cubs, and the malevolent groups literally can't physically stay on the planet as this frequency rises. They physically have to depart. They can't survive like the reptilians. They have to depart. So that's one of the reasons when I say the kind of the bad guys are on the run. It's occurring because of what's physically occurring, not with just our planet, but with the universe. There's a frequency change, and the literal frequency is rising, and we're rising with it.
Yeah, the solar system is moving through. We have no idea the concept of time when it comes to our solar system. Just our solar system alone takes 250 million years to make one full rotation around the Milky Way. We're not even a blink.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're moving. The solar system itself is moving through this area of the Milky Way that has a very high vibration. And it only happens 250 some thousand million, something like that. Don't know how often, but
it's going to be an exciting year to be alive.
Yeah.
If you have to pick a passage in time to be a human on the planet Earth, it doesn't really get any more exciting than right now. It's going to be a little rough for a few months here, but I believe it will come out really well in the end for all of us.
Yeah. I'd grab the popcorn.
Right.
What are your thoughts on Project Bluebeam, that they're going to try to use some of the technology that they have to fake one first?
I don't think you have to worry about any of that stuff. In my opinion, all of that is fluff and more for mind control and more to spin you away from yourself. What I do think you want to focus on is going inside.
Yeah.
If you can not go outside and turn off the TV and all of the stuff that you're surfing on, if you can go inside and see what you really are, which is a multidimensional being, all you got to do is open your heart. It's not rocket science.
Yeah.
Don't try to go in and get quiet here. Open this and let the brain be the decoder of what your heart understands already and has always known. And what you'll find is that not only will you find like a contentment beyond you've ever had, but you'll suddenly realize that your value to the galactic community is revealed, and they want to contact with you, but they don't contact with you through here. As soon as you open your heart, you may find that there is available to you a communication on another level of entities that have been here for millennia, but we haven't stepped into who we are until now.
Yeah.
And all I'm saying is, if you'll go inside, not only will wild molecular changes happen for you, but as these events unfold, let's say a false flag event, your heart will know, okay, those are not the folks I want to deal with. I'm not going for it. I'm not going for the head fake. If someone's inviting me to come to their planet and they look perfect and they sound perfect and they come off a beautiful ship, I may choose to not go with them because I'm going to stick with my heart. And if my heart says, no, that's a fake, then I'll know.
Yeah. And
That's
some
what
of
I
them,
mean.
some of them don't even need a ship. It's
Exactly.
like, yeah, it's just transport. It's intergalactic
Exactly.
transport. Boom.
Yeah.
Like beaming.
Yeah, at the end of it, we're all energy, right? And the really advanced civilizations can move without ships and just come as energy and can appear in any form they want. But I can tell you this, they are all around us right now watching this, what's unfolding on Earth. Earth is an amazing planet. From all my research, from all the folks in the secret space program, all of the universe knows that this is going on right now, right on this planet. That's how many groups are here watching this unfold, benevolent and some malevolent that have already been here.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of malevolent, or I should say a lot of benevolent races around us right now that will present themselves, that are watching this unfold and are doing their best to help without breaking the prime directive.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes you wonder too what type of spin that the media is going to do. Right now we see all the distractions going on. It's just rest everywhere. Everywhere you look. Every channel, there's always something happening to get our mind off of everything that's happening up there, around here, everywhere. And I've seen a couple spins too where media is trying to portray all of them as malevolent. What are your thoughts on stuff to be apprehensive of? You said yes, for those who, in layman's term, for those who are watching or going to listen to this episode, some people don't get the moving inward. They don't know. Some people, I'll get deer in headlights when I talk about that, and they look at me like, "What do you mean? How do you do that?" So, in layman's terms, how do you feel that the discernment and that level of walking away from that distraction of what the media is going to, what they're about to tell us?
Yeah, the first thing, and those are great questions, Paul. I think the first thing, again, is it doesn't matter who you are. You don't have to be a spiritual leader to go inside. It's no different than going to the gym. You literally find a space, turn off all your technology, sit in a chair by a window, light a little piece of sage, whatever your ritual is, try to show up for 5 minutes each day. All I'm saying is this doesn't have to be a gigantic thing. We all sit on the toilet for 5 minutes a day. It's just a fact. So if you can do that, you can definitely sit in a chair for 5 minutes a day and get quiet, and quiet from the heart.
Yeah.
Not going, I'm going to get quiet and turn my mind off. It doesn't work that way. This will constantly run. You just have to let it go and go, what is here for me? What am I from a heart standpoint? And very quickly, and I mean for everyone, you will notice the difference if you get quiet and just open your heart. Not only will you not be spun on the distractions that are on CNN and all the other places that we all surf. When you turn off technology and go here, you'll never be so content. And when, excuse me, I'm coming off that cold that everyone got.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
When you get quiet, you will then have a sense of, wow, I'm bigger, more expansive, infinite, really, than I thought I was. And once you allow your heart to start leading, where the brain is just the interpreter of this heart, of this amazing superpower that you have, which is love. And even the secret space program personnel talk about it. Like the ET races that are out there literally revere us as royalty because of our capability of love. A lot of ET races, you have to understand, don't even have emotions. They have no emotion.
Yeah.
And they And not only that, but humanity, on the many levels that we bring this type of energy, allows us to rise even further. So a lot of races, for instance, the Nordics, dwell in kind of the 7th density. They can appear to you if they want to. Right now, you and I, Paul, are in the 3rd density. But Nordics can appear to us if they want to. They work in the 7th density. The reptilians work in the lower 4th density. But humanity, when we step into who we really are, we're multi-dimensional beings. All that's occurred is that we've forgotten what we are. But I can promise you this, in my short time, and I'll just say 5 years of pretty intense going inside, but it occurred for me almost right away, like within a couple of days of just getting quiet and opening my heart. I noticed immediately molecular changes, tangible, physical changes from just getting quiet and turning off technology, turning off the outside spin, which is what the Cabal, or this group that I talk about that work with these malevolent ET races that have been controlling the planet forever. That's what they want you to do. They want you to spin on CNN. They want you to spin on fear. They want you to not go inside because that's what they fear.
Yeah.
They've picked the wrong target. So when they decided, let's see if we can control humanity, the reptilians and this Cabal, they picked the wrong target, because when we step forward, when we find out who we are, which is coming right now, we're literally unstoppable, and they know that, and they're on the run. So that's what I'm saying. You don't have to worry about, even if you consider yourself non-spiritual at all, just get quiet. See what you are at the heart level. Just try to open your heart. See what occurs. Don't do it from your head. Just sit quietly and allow your heart to open. When you start to sense who you are, and we're all individuals, but we work as one because we're coming from a frequency of love that is, it's unstoppable. And what I'm saying is, you'll have no fear. And no matter what the Cabal does with false flag events, alien invasion stuff, whatever they do with media, you'll quickly start to realize as you get close to yourself.
Yeah.
I'll know exactly what to do, and you will. And that's what's great.
Yeah. And for those who, we keep hearing the word, the elites, the Cabal, those who are pulling the strings on everything, word around the campfire for a long time, but I think it's coming out. It's slowly coming out. But the chatter is that all these royal families for millennia are, a sense, the hybrids of the, if not already, or originally were the reptilians. But through generations, they have been hybrided into the human form.
Exactly.
And
Exactly
they
right.
have full control, and still have full control today, of humanity.
But it's because of the rise of, a lot of people say Gaia, I say Sophia. That's the ancient term for Mother Earth. As she is rising in frequency, they physically can't stay.
And we
so
can
that's
see,
why.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's
and we can see that too, because the whole monarchy thing has crumbled years ago. The royal family in the British royal family really doesn't have power anymore. They're just figureheads. But
that's correct.
The upper echelon, those that really don't have a name, I think they're losing control.
Yeah, and the thing is about humanity, when I mentioned they pick the wrong target, when humanity steps into understanding, and that's one of the things I cover in the book. If you read Hush, you're going to, or get the Audible, you're going to understand how long they've been in control and how they continue to control us.
There we go.
But when humanity, there you go, when humanity steps into understanding that, what do humans do when they get mad? They rebel and they unite, right? And that's what's occurring on the planet. I think everybody's getting to the point where I don't want to hear CNN again. I don't want to hear any particular individual at the top of government tell me what I know is a lie.
Yeah.
I don't need it anymore. I've heard it enough. I don't believe anything in the media anymore. And that makes sense, because after humans have been betrayed long enough, it's like smoke coming out of a steam vent. We just suddenly go, something is wrong here.
Yeah.
there is information coming to us that tells us this is all a big lie and we're smoked. We're done with it. And what happens when we get pissed? Humans unite and we rebel. And what's happening, hence the cabal on the run now, is there's enough humans doing shows like yours that are getting the word out. We're not going to take it anymore. Love is rising and it's unstoppable. And we're going to step into who we are.
Yeah. I do see more people seeing through the BS that just see through this. You're like, and just the information, we just know, we absolutely know that it's not right. So before we move forward, for those who are listening, first, for those who are watching, can see your website scrolling along the bottom there. But for those who are listening, where can they find you?
Sure. So they can just go to mdselig.com, and certainly the novel and the Audible are available at all the regular outlets, Amazon, et cetera, et cetera.
Cool. And the book is called Hush, subtitle, A Psychological Thriller of Alien Manipulation and Deep State Deceit. That's a good title. That's a good picture, too. I love the title. I had to get a copy.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. Is that the airplane on the, is that the Malaysian
That is,
airline?
that's MH370. One of the things that I cover in Hush is a really good example of how the cabal works and how, even though they consider themselves an administrative elite, they will commit a war crime using our CIA to carry out a hijacking. And if you get the Audible, you can hear the actual radio calls. Being a former combat pilot, when the calls hit online and went viral, all the radio calls from MH370 on the ground and in the air in 2014, I immediately heard it and went, okay, that's an Asian dude making all the ground calls. As soon as this jet goes airborne, that's an American. And I knew it then. And I'm like, why is nobody bringing this up? And then I'm like, of course, this is a covert post-containment operation. And no one's noticing that it's an American dude for the rest of the flight. But if you get the Audible version, you'll hear the actual radio calls, and I'll discuss each radio call before either the Asian or the American pilot says it, and it's covered. The entire tragic evolution of MH370 is covered in Hush, and I can promise you this: it is disassembled at this moment in a hangar on Diego Garcia, and has been since that first day, March 8th, 2014. And the tragic ending for all those families occurred on the way to Diego Garcia as well as at Diego Garcia. It's all covered in the book.
Wow. So everybody, all the passengers that were on there are deceased?
Yeah, on the same day.
Wow.
Yeah, there was without giving away too much of the book, they were massacred, but not all at one time. There were several killed before even takeoff, as the CIA hijacker team took over the jet with silenced pistols. And that's why right after takeoff, you have a change in voice and dynamic, which is an American pilot who is actually a CIA operative named Benjamin R. Waters. And like I said, all of it's covered in Hush, so you can certainly give the radio calls a listen. And those are available, have been since 2014, but now you'll start to hear them a little bit differently when you understand, coming from a pilot, how the voice changes pretty drastically. Yeah.
Yeah. It almost makes you wonder, too, that I thought about this in the past. I think also with this airline and several things that happen, that, that what happens to these individuals. There was speculation with 9/11 when the two aircraft that they say hit the Pentagon and one that went down in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, that there was no debris of aircraft that actually touched the ground. It was
You're on it, Paul. Yeah. You're right on it. Stay on target.
Yep. And that the video that was captured from the Sheraton Hotel across the street from the Pentagon was stolen, disappeared. It showed the evidence that it wasn't an aircraft, it was actually a missile.
Yeah, it's a missile fired from a sub-based platform.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Flight 77 was literally disintegrated midair and all the passengers and crew by our own U.S. Air Force and by our own cabal. I should say worldwide cabal, but this is all 4 aircraft, especially not the tanker that hit the second tower, but the regular civilian aircraft that hit the first tower that was being controlled by an AWACS. Those pilots had no control over the plane. There were zero
Wow. Flown by wire.
Terrorists on any of those jets. There were no terrorists on those jets.
Wow. This is all by wire.
Yep.
Yeesh.
Yeah, and that plays into the 2014 Malaysian hijacking, and I cover that in there, but we have had the ability from an AWACS to control any aircraft in flight that has autopilot for many years now. Our cabal has. And in Hush, you'll also find the alien traded technology of teleportation is used on the Malaysian jet. You can watch those leaked videos. They were leaked by Edward C. Lin, who was a former lieutenant commander in the Navy, when he realized what he was involved in, and he leaked those videos. They are available online. You can watch the jet being teleported as part of the hijacking.
Whoa.
Yeah.
How many commercial aircraft out there right now can actually be flown by wire? Are all of them or all of them now?
No, all jets since the probably late 70s had autopilot.
Wow.
It's just a computer that.
Yeah, it's basically a remote control vehicle. That's it.
Yeah, you're just taking over the computer, which takes over the hydraulics.
Yeah.
But once you take over that computer, if you know how to do it, no one else can retake those controls back from you. So the pilots are in there and they're trying to fight hydraulics that they can't fight, so that they're basically not in control. Yeah.
Wow. No overrides.
There's no override.
Yeah. Oof.
To give you an idea, the jet that had the kids on it from the whatever it was, ice skating or hockey team that came back and crashed with the helicopter.
Oh, yeah.
Recently. Yeah. So the helicopter was controlled with was basically hijacked by the same technology that the AWACS uses. And that helicopter was taken over and flown into that jet as it was arriving. So, in that particular instance, it happened to be Putin letting the American government know that, hey, I have this technology too. Hence, we lose another 200 and some odd people, because governments are all about showing who the biggest kid on the block is. And so they will do stuff like that. It stays secret. It doesn't hit the press. But that's what occurred in that particular operation. That was the Russians showing Washington, hey, we have this technology too, and we're going to do it right on your doorstep.
Wow.
And that's what they did.
Where do you think everybody keeps talking about it, and for years, ever since World War II, people have been talking about it. World War III is going to be fought by ones and zeros, this, that. Hopefully we don't get to that point, but if there ever was a World War III, how do you think it's going to be fought?
Let's put it this way. I don't think the benevolent alien races that have been here for millennia before us, that are honeycombed throughout our planet, and I can promise you they are throughout our planet and amidst us now, they're not going to allow that to happen. The reason I say that is they love their home, honeycombed within the planet as much as we do. And they have been up here before, taking apart warheads, intercepting warheads in flight. You've seen the videos of the ones coming out of Vandenberg where they're showing the UFOs going around the aircraft as it's going 14,000 miles an hour towards space. And there's little ships going around it. And basically those ships are there to not only monitor those warheads to see if they're live ones or dummies, but to also go to the silos themselves, where you always hear about UFOs being over silos. Those are the benevolent alien races going, you are not blowing this planet up. And you guys are, we love you humans, but you're still primitive and you're still a very violent society. And you like to do this one-upsmanship, and it can get out of control, and we're not going to allow that to happen. So to answer your question, I don't think there's going to be a nuclear World War III. There's too many civilizations, ET civilizations alone, that are not going to allow this planet to be destroyed. And this planet, from my sources, not only in the secret space program, but here on the planet, and some that don't have addresses here, will let you know, no, Earth is, it's like the Disney World of this galaxy. Like, every alien race wants to come here because of what Earth offers. It's an amazing planet. Just think about this. On other planets, let's say Venus, it's just Venusians. On this planet, look at how many races, civilizations, factions, and we don't all get along, but we survive.
Yeah.
And we have survived over such a long time that even the ETs are like, I don't know how they're doing it. They're a violent group, the humans, but they somehow have done this. And that's why we're so revered, because we have not only persevered, but we've advanced ourselves. And the ET races now realize, like, when they can calm themselves down, they're untouchable from a heart standpoint alone. But then they're fascinating, and they keep upping the ante on technology. They keep wanting things to be better. They don't find something that works and then just stop and use it for millennia. They keep increasing the volume of it. I'll give you one example. We have 3 things that are our biggest export from the planet, and it would be wild to guess them, so I'll just tell you. The first one isn't hard to guess. It's military technology. Our military technology sells well out in space. Military technology that you guys get to see, or that I get to see, the military technology that we've advanced on our spaceships.
Yeah.
That stuff sells well, including humans that are augmented. We are very valuable on the trade routes in space if we're augmented with technology, because of our heart thing, but because of our brains, because of what we offer from an engineering standpoint. We are valued, and here's why. Commodity that we export from our planet, of all things, beer. Why? Why would the galaxy want Earth beer? I'll tell you why. This is fun. Alien races like beer as well. Everybody wants to have a cocktail and relax. Every biological entity out there that drinks any solution that goes, yeah, that feels good, you're going to want that again. So beer is a big commodity in the galaxy and in the universe. But check this out. A lot of alien races will create a cocktail that doesn't necessarily taste well, just think like vinegar, but it makes them feel good, so they drink it for millennia.
Yeah.
But then they get a hold of an American beer, and they're like, God, this kind of gives us the same effect, but it tastes better. And then and I say American, I should say just a human beer from Earth, right? A good German beer, or a Rasputin stout, right?
Yeah.
Chocolate stout. But then what do humans do? We get our chocolate stout and it wins like a bunch of awards. But what do? We go after it to make it better. Other ET races, they don't do that. They don't care. They'll just drink the same cardboard beer for millennia. And so what's happened is the word has gotten out, like, Earth beer is really good. You got to try this. It's our second biggest export. Think about that, from the planet on the trade routes in space. Beer.
Wow.
And our third biggest of all things is children's clothing. Why? Because most ET races are short. Yeah. They're not big. There are some big, much bigger than us, like reptilians and various races, and certainly a lot of races that are aqua races and water-based and this, that, and the other. But generally, ETs like Greys, Maitra, all of these other ones, very few alien races are bigger than humans. So what happens? They see this human clothing that's constantly changing out in the secret space program.
Yeah.
And the ones who are here on the planet are like, God, did humans make amazing, colorful clothing and for a kid?
Yeah.
Children's clothing is our third biggest export in the trade routes in space. Isn't that cool?
Wow.
There's a million races out there that are a foot tall. There's a million that are 3 feet tall. There's just species everywhere. ET races, they want to wear a cool shirt. Why wouldn't you? Well, I want to wear something that's comfortable and not just a white robe or a black robe. I want to. So when you think about it, space is not that complicated. It's very much like our planet. It's just everybody's trying to figure out what their agenda is, and some get along and some don't. And there's certainly wars and all the other stuff, but it's basically commerce based.
Yeah.
Everybody has an agenda to get more money, or what they call galactic credits, so they can buy stuff, generally technology, because just like the pirates of old, you wanted to have the latest flintlock pistol if you're going to board another ship to get the gold, or better than that, you want the latest cannon. So technology out in space, it's very much Pirateville out there, because anybody with great technology can board your ship. They just can't.
Yeah.
So people pay a lot, and groups and races always want to up their technology. So all of the stuff that's here on the planet is the same in the multiverse. It's just massive. And there is literally a billion species out there, some like us, some not like us, but it's, from what I understand, a 95-5 ratio from talking to the Secret Space Program personnel. 95% are benevolent. It's wonderful. And there's 5% that are rough, and and 3% of those 5% are here on the planet and have been running our planet. Those are the malevolent groups, like the reptilians, the Maitra, the Greys. I'm not saying all of them are bad. You have to be careful.
Yeah.
It's the Draco reptilians, not just in general. There's tons of species of reptilians, and they are known as ancient, wise, wonderful on all planets, including our planet, and they live below the crust of the earth. They're here, and they've been here before us. But one faction of them, like our faction of Nazis in humanity, maybe not our best representation of who we are as humans, but we do have that faction. That's who the Draco reptilians are. And they are the ones, they are the malevolent group that are known as planet conquering hordes. And they have been on our planet before we evolved, because they knew we were coming. They wanted to control us. And that's who's here right now, that we're still trying to push off the planet. And I think that event is happening right now.
Heck yeah. Whew. About time. Really about time.
Yeah.
So before we wrap up the show, again, where can people find you? Your book, Hush?
Sure. Just go to mdselig.com, and all the links are there. And certainly if you read the book or listen to Audible, if you can do a review, that really helps the algorithms to get the word out about what's happening all around us right now. And I would appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Hey, Paul, I got a quick question for you.
Yeah.
As I listen to you, I just keep thinking of Steve Buscemi. Do you ever get that?
No.
That you sound just like him?
Really?
Oh my God. You could do a voiceover for him. And I'm like, oh, you could be in Fargo right now with your socks. It's
Steve Buscemi has always been and he was always a typecast actor, though. He was always typecast.
You literally, I think I could adjust your voice a tiny bit, maybe a little more Eastern accent, but as I've been listening to you for the whole show, I'm like, it's Steve. It's just been great.
Right on.
Yeah, I'm a big fan
of him in a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. I'll jot that down. Heck yeah. So before we go, what do you have as a takeaway for our audience? Some words of wisdom.
I would say, like I said, and I'll reiterate, it's a very exciting time coming in this next year to year and a half. A lot of great stuff is going to occur. It's going to get a little rough before that, but hang in there. Use your heart. There's nothing to fear. It's a really exciting future for all of us.
Yeah. And have some level of discernment. Don't catch yourself getting brainwashed and listening to everything in legacy media out there. Definitely. Just turn it off. Turn it off.
Yep. Yeah. Go inside. There's a lot to listen to in here to find out how amazing you really are.
Yeah. Yeah. MD, I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for joining.
Enjoyed it, Paul. It was my honor. We'll get together again soon.
Likewise. Let me know if you ever make it to Florida. Hang out. Have some American beer.
Yeah, I went through flight school in Pensacola, so I'll take you out for a beer when I come back.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Cool. All right, brother.
Okay, talk to you soon.
Thank you for your service, my friend. Semper Fi.
Thank you again.
You're welcome. Thank you, everybody, for watching the Séance podcast. And until next time, we will see you.